Welcome back to Old Charles, your one-stop spot for coin collectors, rare coin facts, and amazing coin values. If you love exploring the stories behind everyday currency, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell today. We're diving into one of America's most iconic coins, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar. Is it just pocket change? Or is there a hidden treasure lying in your coin jar? Stay tuned, because you might be holding a coin worth hundreds. The Kennedy half-dollar was first issued in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It was designed as a tribute to the beloved 35th President of the United States. The obverse features a portrait of Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse, showing the presidential seal, was crafted by Frank Gasparo. By 1971, the coin stopped being struck in silver for circulation. And by 1974, the coin was fully composed of a copper-nickel-clad composition, just like the dimes and quarters we use today. In 1974, Kennedy half-dollars were minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; San Francisco, S mint mark, proof coins only. Here are the mintage numbers: Philadelphia, 201 million coins; Denver, 79 million coins; San Francisco, 2.6 million proof coins. Let's break down the specs of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar. Composition: 75% copper, 25% nickel over a pure copper core. Weight: 11.34 grams. Diameter: 30.6 mm. Edge: reeded, and just a. Heads up, this coin is not magnetic, so if your half-dollar sticks to a magnet, it's likely a fake. The value of your coin depends heavily on its condition. Circulated 1974 Kennedy half-dollars are generally worth face value, that's 50 cents, because they were produced in high numbers and used widely. But uncirculated or mint state coins, especially in MS 65 grade or higher, can sell for $5 to $20 or more. And if you're lucky to find a rare proof coin from San Francisco in pristine condition, it could fetch $10 to $40 or higher depending on quality. Now here's where things get exciting. 1974 Kennedy half-dollar error coins. Some valuable error types include double die obverse, DDO check for doubling on the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." These are rare and can be worth $50 to over $300, depending on sharpness and condition. Off-center strikes ***. These errors can be worth $100 plus, depending on how off-center the strike is. Clipped planchet ***. A portion of the coin is missing due to a minting error. These usually sell for $30 to $80, even though it's not silver. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar remains highly collectible because of its historical significance. It's often included in beginner coin collections, and many people still hold on to them for sentimental or patriotic value. In 1975, no Kennedy half-dollars were minted with that year's date. Instead, the 1976 bicentennial half-dollar was produced with a special reverse. So 1974 was the last normal Kennedy half-dollar before that 2-year celebration. To sum it all up, if your 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is circulated and common, it's worth about 50 cents. If it's in mint state or proof condition, you might get $5 to $40 or more. And if you found a rare double die or minting error, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds of dollars. So don't ignore that half-dollar in your drawer. It could be more valuable than you think. The story of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar begins with a moment of deep national sorrow. On November 22, 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. In the days that followed, the U.S. Mint moved quickly to honor the fallen president. Just 1 month later, the decision was made to redesign the half-dollar coin with Kennedy's portrait. The first Kennedy half-dollars were struck in 1964, and they became an instant tribute to the 35th President of the United States. Americans lined up at banks to get them. Many never spent their coins, choosing instead to keep them as a patriotic memento. Now fast forward to 1974. By this time, some major changes had occurred in the coin's composition and usage. Originally, the 1964 Kennedy half-dollar was made of 90% silver, but due to rising silver prices, the U.S. Mint reduced the silver content to 40% from 1965 to 1970. After that, starting in 1971, the coin transitioned completely to a copper-nickel-clad composition, similar to dimes and quarters. The 1974 version of the coin follows this format: no silver, only base metals. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar was struck at 3 U.S. Mint facilities: Philadelphia ***, no mint mark; Denver ***, D mint mark; San Francisco ***, S mint mark; for proof coins only, it was a high-production year. Over 280 million coins were minted in total, mostly for circulation. However, because of the public's continued habit of hoarding half-dollars, especially Kennedy ones, they often didn't circulate widely. In the early 1970s, half-dollars were still being produced in large numbers, but usage was already in decline. By the late 1980s, they had all but disappeared from everyday transactions. But back in 1974, they were still seen in banks, casinos, and vending machines. One interesting historical note. The 1974 issue was the last regular design before the 1976 bicentennial half-dollar, which featured the special Independence Hall reverse to celebrate America's 200th birthday. Although the 1974 coin was not struck in silver, it is still a key part of Kennedy half-dollar history, a link between the early silver era and the modern clad era, and a reflection of a nation still remembering a beloved president. Collectors today prize the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar for its patriotic symbolism, its historical context, and for rare errors that make certain examples highly valuable.